All good, Dave? All right, we're here with Bradley Payton from PowerPlus. We're going to talk about his LiFe Black Premium batteries in 24, 48 and 120 volt
That's
solutions.
Correct. Yes, and later this year we'll have high voltage options as well, up to 1000 volts.
Nice.
All using the Australian-made BMS boards.
Beautiful. So these have been one of the most popular products we've had. We're just getting great feedback from installers nationally on this. Just ease of install, just so many advantages over lead acid. And you know, people are replacing their lead acid banks with these because some of those advantages. You want to talk about some of those?
Lead acid batteries have been a very good energy storage medium for the last 100 years. It's a technology that we understand, and if you use good quality products, there's reliability, and the installer can be fairly confident that the system's going to perform the way they've designed it. Lead acid, though, also has some restrictions, especially when we look at modern power electronics and the efficiencies and the way that customers' needs are changing more rapidly. And so there's a few challenges using lead acid in sort of today's environment. So when we look at lithium batteries, there's a lot of different lithium chemistries on the market. They all have certain features that provide advantages in different applications. And over a period of years, testing and research, we feel that lithium ferrophosphate is the most suited for most applications when you're looking at home storage or especially with off-grid applications. Because lithium ferrophosphate performs very much like a lead acid battery as far as its electrical characteristics, it makes it very simple to integrate with existing inverters and solar chargers and battery chargers. So we have a big advantage there straight off the bat.
I don't think I've found one instance where it didn't work.
We're reasonably confident that our batteries will work with most existing power electronics that can work with lead acid batteries. One of the big advantages is we have built our battery management system into each individual module. So we're not reliant on external controls, external communications with the inverter. All of the smarts are built into the battery. So the advantage is it makes it very simple for install, and over the next 10 or 20 years, it makes it easy for the homeowner or the installer to maintain the system. It makes it very simple. So that's a big advantage we're finding. It's one of the main comments we get back is how easy the install is and how few problems they have in maintaining the system for the homeowner.
Sure, and you know, that flexibility of being able to add batteries down the track, a lot of users are looking for that.
Yes.
Even future-proofing and thinking, oh, you know, I'll have an electric vehicle, you know, as part of my system.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of customers now, especially with new builds. They want to put in 3 or 4 or 5 batteries so that while the house is being built, there's power there for the builder and for lighting and things like that. And then once the home's finished, then they'll add another 5 or 10 or 15 batteries to suit the actual power requirements once the family's moved into the home. So it gives them a lot of flexibility in that area as well.
And these data cabinets are nicely set up just to slot in extra cells?
Well, in this case, as an example, and while this is a dummy battery, if you grab that side, you slide the battery in, down a little bit. You terminate the amphenol connectors, you turn the battery on, and that's all that's required for commissioning. So the homeowner, if down the track they want to add batteries because they've added a new pool pump or air conditioning and they need more capacity, because the cabinet's pre-wired, they can then come and add batteries themselves later on.
Yeah,
there's
so
no special tools
required. Those cabinets just with their space for, you know, a couple more cells, but you can also sit another cabinet next to it.
And it doesn't look too bad in the garage or the shed.
Very neat. So any other sort of advantages over lead acid? Of course, footprint.
Look, lithium ferrophosphate typically will be about a third the weight and half to a third the size of a lead acid battery installation. Lead acid batteries typically are around 70 to 80% efficient, whereas a lithium battery is in the mid to high 90s. So if during winter you have less PV production, you have a higher percentage of your energy going into the batteries as you would with a lead acid system. In an off-grid application where you're using a backup generator for those odd times of the year, a lead acid battery likes to be charged at about C10 rate, which is over 10 hours. A lithium battery we can charge in 1 or 2 hours. So there's less fuel costs, less runtime on your generator when you're supporting lithium batteries over lead acid.
Yeah. Savings there in the long run?
Oh yes, yes. Typically also in an off-grid situation, with lead acid batteries you use 2-volt cells. And so to create 48 volts, you'll have 24 2-volt cells. One of the restrictions with lead acid is that when you might get 3 or 4 years down the track and you want to increase capacity, you can't add more cells. You have to replace the existing cells with newer, larger capacity. With lithium, because each battery module is independent, you can add additional batteries years down the track because each battery will look after itself.
Yeah, and some of the other batteries out there without a built-in BMS, you've got that external battery management system in other lithium batteries that is a single point of failure.
Well, most of them are quite reliable, but yes, there is a single point of failure. The challenge is because they have control software, when a manufacturer releases new products and they've added new features, the battery management system is not always backwardly compatible or forward compatible with new product. And so over a 10-year period, you've got a greater chance of running into incompatibilities if you're trying to add to or replace existing batteries. And different manufacturers deal with that differently. With a self-managed PowerPlus energy battery, that never becomes an issue because the batteries are always independent of each other. Even if we're doing monitoring, the monitoring is purely for information. It has nothing to do with the control of the battery.
Nice. And so we've got that 24 volt option, and
yes.
You also did the 120 volt.
Yep, so option. We've got 24 volts, 48 volts, and 120 volts. And later this year, you'll be able to series connect all of our batteries so you can create up to 1,000 volts. So if on some of the larger domestic and the commercial inverter options, you'll be able to use our batteries with those inverters as well as we do the testing on each one.
Because Electronic have done that 120 volt.
Yes.
Is that what inspired you to?
Yeah, most definitely.
Get the 120 volt solution?
People will be surprised to know that in Australia we actually have quite a healthy manufacturing industry for solar. So Electronic is sort of a well-known brand that everyone respects. They've been around for 30 plus years. We have other companies like ARL who do MPPTs, iMark who also do MPPTs manufactured in Australia, and Mill Solar who do Australian-made grid-tie inverters. All high-quality product, all well-respected in the industry, and so you can pretty much design any Australian-made solar system that you want.
Fantastic.
And I guess maybe the other thing to mention, you were sort of talking about the differences with lead acid. A lithium battery will typically have 2 to 4 times the cycle life of a lead acid battery used in the same application, the same depth of discharge. Yeah. So as an example, if you discharge a lead acid battery at 100% depth of discharge, a good solar battery might get 800 cycles. A lithium battery discharged 100%, you'll get 2,000 to 2,700 cycles. So it makes it more flexible for solar applications. Typically with a lead acid battery, you would design around 25% depth of discharge to get around that 6,000 odd cycle mark. with a lithium battery, we can discharge to 50 or 60% to achieve that 5,000 to 7,000 sort of cycle life.
And that's really reflected in the warranties, because lead acid you'll get 1 to 3 years, and
yes.
Here you're getting 10-year warranty, quite a robust warranty.
With the background work we've done on the lithium cells, we're highly confident that end users will have no problems with their cells over the 10 years. It's more likely that occasional BMS may fail, but we've manufactured nearly 8,000 batteries, and we've had very, very few problems with any product failures. So we're quite confident that customers will have a good experience for 10 years and beyond.
And the installers have a good experience too.
In Australia,
ease of install.
Yes, in Australia, the ACCC makes the installer accountable for warranties. And so as long as the manufacturer is there to support them, it's fine. But the advantage for an installer is having a good quality, easy to use product, minimises their risk as an installer.
And less time commissioning as well for the installer?
A lead acid, let's say a 2,500 lead acid battery system would be a good 2 days work. This could be installed in a couple of hours. So installed and commissioned with 2 men in maybe 2 to 3 hours.
But even some of the competing lithium products will take longer to commission.
Look, having the Amphenol connectors, having the self-managed BMS makes it a lot simpler to install. There's less need for managing the communications between the batteries and the inverter. So it makes it, I would say that would be the biggest comment we get from first-time installers, is that was the easiest battery install they've ever done.
Yeah. And I find a lot of them don't go back to anything else.
Being local, having the local support in Australia from the manufacturer is a big factor for a lot of installers. And even for some end users, they're sort of investing a lot of money into an energy storage system, and so for many of them it's a big investment.
Yeah.
And so they just want to feel safe that there's going to be someone there to support that investment. And so we find that we're able to support installers by sort of providing a bit of surety for the end users as well.
Yeah, the end users want to see that you're a company with runs on the board, that you're growing, that are they some little backyard operation going to go under next week?
We're quite happy for installers to organise for potential customers to come for a tour of the factory. So we're quite happy to support installers as they're supporting their customers.
Fantastic.